went in the Air Force on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 1974. And the object of my reasoning for going in there was my parents were strict, and I thought if I got some of that right from around me and get out on my own, I could do my own thing. So I didn't know any other way, so I just got angry with my mom one night, and so the next day I went down and I joined the military. And I just wanted to travel the world. And I ended up doing 4 years at one base. So again, I was angry because I didn't get to travel, and I got out. And I want to say that was probably the second worst mistake I ever made in my life. I got a job at the post office because I had some preference being a disabled veteran, and I got a job at the post office selling drugs. I wasn't doing bad at selling drugs and working, but the first time I decided to smoke a joint with crack in it, because I had seen a lot of people on drugs, and crack was this epidemic in the mid-'80s, and I was curious, like, how can you hit something one time or smoke something one time and be addicted? I mean, my mentality, I just got the military. I'm strong. It can't be done. I can smoke that thing one time. I can hit it one time and don't do it no more. And just to prove it to myself, I'm gonna do it. So a couple of friends and myself, we was coming from Fort Myers one day, and I told him, I said, hey man, I'm gonna take one of these. We had to win, got some dope. I said, I'm gonna take one of these things, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it just this one time. I'm gonna be done with it. Oh man, I wanna say 15 years later or more, I finally got a chance to stop. I came here that one day I was telling you about when I borrowed this $4.50 from this lady, and I came out here. I was tired. I remember that morning feeling that if I continued this way, that I don't think I had another month to live. Either somebody would kill me or I would die of an overdose or something like that. So I decided at that time, I knew that I could either live or I could die. And so I want to feel like I chose life because I came out here. I didn't actually lay on the floor and ask for help, but that's when I met the lady Kim Bridges. And she got me into some aftercare. I did 90 days of aftercare, 90 days of treatment, and 90 days of aftercare.
When Lamont came in, he had been through a number of trials in his life throughout the years. And he had gotten to a point where he was very tired of going through his life like that and decided to make a change. And luckily, he chose to come into the VA that day. I was working in the homeless walk-in clinic, and when he came into the office, he was tired, but he was willing to listen. We took a look at everything that hadn't worked in the past. And in listening to his story about what hadn't worked, we came up together with a plan that may work for him, some other options that he hadn't considered, that he hadn't tried yet. So we referred him to a program in Clearwater that is a program for homeless veterans, provides transitional living while they can work on employment or education. And he was open to that. He was open to looking at his treatment options and was willing to engage. And so being able to listen to him, find out what was working, what wasn't working, and what he wanted to do at that particular moment in his life was the key to getting him linked in with those services that the VA offers.
From there, I knew that I was a diabetic and that I hadn't taken my meds in maybe 3 years or so. So the first thing I needed to do was get back with my primary care, which was Penny Myers. But I remembered her name. But being 3 years, you don't even know if the lady moved on or got another position or still here or what the case may be. But I put in a consultation. I had a consultation put in for me. And she responded, and she took me on again.
I started seeing Mr. Garner years and years, more than 10 years ago. And he came infrequently back then. He wasn't taking care of his health. He would come in more for urgent things when he was having a problem. And he really didn't take to heart taking care of his medical chronic conditions like he should have. But every time he came, we would try to focus on it, try to work on it. Then he dropped out of sight for several years, and he came back about 3 or 4 years ago, and he was like a new man. He had taken part in the programs here, the homeless program, the substance abuse program. He was getting ready to start school. He had a great positive outlook. He wanted to take care of his health. He was more focused. He asked about going to the gym, about losing weight, doing the things to help himself. And pretty much since that time, he has been a regular. He follows up, makes his appointments. He goes to the consults. He tries to go for nutrition counseling, do the things that will help him be a healthier, live a longer, better life. So I've seen a lot more interest in him that way. And I think he's a happier, more positive looking guy now. He has things to look forward to. He's reconnected with his children, his family. He's a good story for the VA. He's taken advantage of all the things they've had to offer, and he's run with it.
I was feeling so good and things were going so great for me. I was getting ready to get out of the program, the substance abuse program, after this aftercare, and I had gained so many strides and did so many things well, and so many good things that happened for me out here. I decided to thank the people that helped me along the way, and I decided to do it in a letter. And it's a funny thing about this letter, because when you're writing a letter, you generally have to sit down and you think about what you're gonna write next. But the stuff that I wrote and the people that I wrote it about was so genuine that it flowed from my heart, through my arms, through my hands, and through a pen. And I think I wrote this letter about 15 or 20 minutes just thanking the people in my life and what they had done for me at that time. And it started with Kim Bridges and Jenny Green, Dr. D, Dr. Doherty, Penny Myers, and just a host of people.
Stories like Lamont's, where he has, done very well for himself and followed the program, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel good for him. I know Lamont says that I helped him along with this, but I tell him he did this all. He's the one that left my office every day, went home, studied, ate well, exercised, did the things he needed to do, went to class. He had to do it. We were here to help him, but he had to pick himself up and he had to do it every day. And it's heartwarming. It makes you believe in people again that, if you give them a chance, you can help them. I've always believed that, and he's the living proof of it.
Well, from being a person with a government job and having a lot of money and making good money to selling drugs when I didn't have to become my own best customer, to drinking, to becoming addicted, to not being able to afford it, to becoming homeless, to almost having near-death experiences, to wanting to live, to coming to the VA, asking for help, to receiving that help, to now being a successful student in college, about to get a degree in drug treatment counseling where I can better help somebody else. And whether it be one life or 100 lives, I think that I've completed my mission if I can save somebody because somebody helped me.
I am incredibly proud of Lamont and the changes that he's made in his life. He has worked very, very hard to make those changes. And he's been consistent. He has not given up at all in this process. And not only is he making wonderful changes in his life, he's going to start to affect other people's lives as him being a substance abuse counselor. He's going to be able to share his experience and make an influence on other people who are deciding whether they're ready to change or not. And every time I see him, I beam with pride for him. He's come a long way. He's worked very hard, and he deserves the happiness that he's experiencing.
I don't know about the other VAs around the country, but I would like to say that the VA at Bay Pines, I've gotten the best health care that I could ever get. I mean, even from an outside clinic. outside hospital. And this is where I come. This is where I am, with no complaints and no regrets.